Assalamu alaikum. I am Khizr. In today's lecture, we will look at 5G architecture. In our previous lecture, we see what were the challenges we were facing before 5G, then what basically 5G is, and in this lecture, we will see the 5G architecture, means how it's work. 5G architecture work on the standardization and openness. As we discussed in our previous lecture, in 5G everything is going to be internet based. Actually 5G is all about the cloudification and internet based and IoT things. In 5G everything will be automated, operation and management will be in each and everything. Let's discuss the 5G network architecture. In 5G we have three layers. First is control layer. In control layer we have next generation core. NGC contain two types of plane. One is control plane and other is user plane. Control plane will control all the user communication throughout the network and provide it to the user plane. Then we have next generation RAN. RAN stands for radio access network or networking, or we can say NGRAM. Here we have G node B and G node B. Actually G node B is a base station of 5G network. Like in 4G network, same base station called the E node B, but in 5G it has a particular name of G node B. And in the middle we have a transport layer which have IK backhaul, which work for the data exchange between the RAN and the core network. You can see here next generation control plane and next generation user plane. Everything is connected through the transport layer, and whatever control plane is communicating going to the IP transport network, and whatever user is communicating is going to the IP transport network. As I already said, 5G is all about the cloudification. You can see that different services or different quality of services like IoT services, layer time services, voice services, super HD video services going to the cloud, and all the things are connected to the cloud. And here are the different user, developers, partners and operators will contact to the any teleco operating system which is connected to the network, which is internet based operation and management. If any user want to access anything, it will not have to request to another user, it will request it to the cloud, and cloud will respond very quickly as per other user. In 5G network, as we see the base station G node B, it has the analog signal are processed in RAN, and wireless signal change quickly over the time. It is saying that all the analog signal processed in RAN, radio access networking, and is changing very quickly because of 5G. Actually 5G working on the multiple input and multiple output technology, which is called the MIMO. Here is the basic function of G node B, where we have centralized unit and decentralized unit, or you can say distributed unit. Digital baseband signals are not sensitive to the time delay processed in CU. It's saying that in our control plane we have EMBB, UR, LLC and MMTC, and also user plane of data. And here is an F1 interface that were to connect or help to communicate CU and DU with each other. Let's see what is DU. DU is delay sensitive signal processing DU. As we see in our previous slide, the CU is not delay sensitive but DU is delay sensitive, and F1 is an interface that helps CU and DU communicate with each other. In 5G networking, we use transport network SDN, software defined networking, which is very much important to design the network for its better maintenance and control. Here you can see inspired by PC and industry server, where we have centralized PC which have operating system, and then it has an application software that work for the industry. Then we move towards the smarter technology of mobile phone, which have an hardware of mobile phone, and the mobile phone have iOS and any type of Android system, then open apps. But how will transport network changes with the help of software defined network? We have router and switches, SDN controller control them, and here is an apps that depend on the user that what type of topology and networking they are using. You can see in the picture that the SDN is all about the core idea of decouple the control and forwarding. Actually, in previous technology, everything is coupled and it is difficult to maintain them. But SDN decouple each and everything, and work for this forwarding for the better management and services. In 5G, cloud core network and cloud RAN is driven by the services, and cloud IP transport network is driven by the technology. Here is an excellent example of SDN. You can see in the picture that distributed control of IP network. You can see there are the multiple places which are connected with each other. As you know, in distributed system, we distribute the processors to complete the one single task. But in SDN is revolutionary new architecture that resolve the resource issue for the IP network. Here we can see the single path, low resources efficiency. The IP network is smart but not smart enough. Complicated protocols calls for high performance. O&M is tricky. No global technology view, there is no way to optimize the entire network. But when we move towards the SDN, you can see that SDN control is directly connected with each and every device, which help the SDN to control the network and give the better maintenance. As in previous slide, here was the word of decoupling. Then here this technology will use which it decouple everything and control each and everything separately. Here are the further three layers of SDN. SDN has three layers: SDN application, SDN controller, and physical network. In physical network, it has any type of network equipment, which can be router, which can be switch, and it contact with the control layer through the open flow interface. In control layer, we have SDN control network services, that what type of services or what type of network we are using, which further communicate with application layer through the API, that what type of application you are using in SDN. Finally, here's a picture. You can say all sort of industries are connected to the SDN or NFV, and here is our physical network. In the start of lecture, I said the SDN is 5G is all about the cloudification, in which we use SDN software defined networking. You can see the software defined network is further connected to the different industries, or after that there will be a logical network. It's all about 5G architecture. In this lecture we looked at the 5G architecture, and in the next lecture we will look at the slicing. After that we will look at the slicing solution, then air interface, and finally we will look at the 5G spectrum. If you like this video, please like it and share it, and share your questions or any type of query in comment box. And please subscribe to this channel and hit on bell icon. Thank you.